Hello, I'm MC Toon, and it is Easter Eve. I hope whatever you do on Easter and this whole weekend is great for you. If you get together with family, I hope it goes well and there's no arguments. It'll help if there's no flat earthers in your family. So they do like the arguments at family meetings. I can't imagine. Can't imagine. Oh, I can. McFlatty. Oh, jeez. Never mind. So I had set up to go over to the server formerly known as the Asylum. It's now called That's Tough TV. Don there is a pretty good host, but he's feeling a little under the weather. I think last night he'd had a little too many spirits, and then Noah, who was the one who really wanted to debate me, apparently, is gone. He's not around. I don't know where he is. So, I asked PJ CNET, who's in the chat here. PJ, you want to come on? If you're not, though, I do have a few things that we can go over. And so what I'll do is I will start by going over something that's pretty funny. Let me bring it up here. So earlier today, I updated my website. Oh, PhD Tony. All right. I'll set it up. I'll give you a link. You can come on. Let me go through this first. This is my website at mctoon.net. And I keep a whole bunch of, information, tests, empirical things about what shape the earth might be. And down here, it's kind of unorganized. It's just kind of a list. But here I have high altitude balloons right here. You see that? And I like to point people when they're like, show me the curve of the horizon, or when they show a video that's like 4 minutes of a clipped video where you don't see if the lens it has a lot of barrel distortion or not. And they only show a little portion of the video. Well, if the horizon at high altitude appears flat every single time, it's either intentionally distorted, like we found out recently with the video posted by flat out liar Terry Escher, or it's a purposefully selected portion of the video where the strong barrel distortion has caused the horizon to no longer be curved. And actually, a lot of the time it's curved up. So if you actually look at the edges, it looks like it's curving up. But here I have, so I point to Dwayne Kellum, but I put up this one here, David Reynolds, just earlier today. So here it is, David Reynolds. It's from 2018, and I'd never seen this one before. I happened on it yesterday, but here's the video, and I'll pull that up. We'll watch that in a minute here. But this is the important part right here. We'll come back to that in a second, but I'll start with this. I'll turn the video off. It's 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. So if you want to go there, tell David, hey, good job, David, because he's got some flurfs in there whinging at him. And so I'll jump forward here to about 4 hours and 30 minutes. And you can see right in here, pretty clear, the horizon is curved. Now, the lens on this is not a GoPro. It's not a, all these ones they call fisheye, they're not fisheye. Fisheye is significantly more, but it's okay. People get that confused. GoPros have strong barrel distortion. This particular lens has very limited barrel distortion. And the guy who did the video, he has right here under images, he has a list of a bunch of images, including a little calibration photo showing how much it does curve. Not much. And he actually got a section of this where the horizon was below the center frame and it still had Earth curve in it. So this particular video, I put this live on my website today, right? And who does a video with this exact one? Well, Flatzoid, who FE, Flatzoid FE, who is he is my vote so far for the for 2023 top left. He is really, really knocking it out of the park. So, all right. Here is his video, Flatzoid's video from today. It's the same video. Now, I don't know if he got it from my website. Maybe he monitors my website. Maybe not. I don't know. But what do you see? I see a curved horizon here, Flatzoid. He didn't really check. He didn't really check. I mean, Flatzoid is the kind of guy who will delete frames. Oh my gosh, they don't even know what how perspective works, of course. Based on, oh my goodness, I have something for that. So anyway, let me get here. I'll jump forward a little farther. And Flatzoid, the horizon is curved. What are you doing? What are you doing, you dummy? Yeah, you showing a curved horizon there. Flatzoid. So there it is. I don't know what to do. I mean, Flatzoid just keeps shooting himself in the foot. I have a whole bunch of screenshots. Oh, I'll show him of Flatzoid. He just can't stop. Like everything he does is wrong, and he keeps doing it. And of course, I'm encouraging him. I'm like, Flatzoid, I got your back. I will definitely support you all the way through winning Top Left 2023. You are my choice so far, Flatzoid. So, I will, let's see. I got some screenshots I'll share with you. This is a preview of next year's 2023 video that I'm going to make for him, probably. So far. We'll see if he, I mean, maybe he won't, maybe he'll change. Maybe somebody else will stick their head up. But all right, here is so he's defining Cartesian coordinate system. There you go. Do you know angles, as in trig, is done on horizontal planes? Well, yes, they are. They can be done on vertical planes and diagonal planes, and it doesn't matter the orientation of the plane. Then he goes, the degrees is the radians, as in angles. What the hell does that mean? The degrees is the radians, as in angles. I don't think he knows that radians is another unit for measuring an angle. Oh, I am watching the battle between Arctic reflections and Flatzoid. It is fantastic. Flatzoid has no clue at all. Here it is. He says this: are you claiming latitude and longitude is not Cartesian coordinates? Yes, Flatzoid, I am claiming that latitude and longitude is not Cartesian. He doesn't know what Cartesian coordinates are. I'm not about to tell him. I want him to keep making this mistake because I'm the kind of guy that will definitely support him all the way through to the end of 2023 Top Left. You got my back, Flatzoid. I got your back. I got your back. All right, and then here's, let's see, one more. Wiggles, right? Good. He's a glober here. Latitude and longitude really doesn't make a whole lot of sense on a flat Earth. It actually does. I disagree. They could be used as polar coordinates. Why is latitude given as an angle? Yeah, even on, though, you could just use it as a distance. You could, but yes, it should not be an angle. It should be a linear quantity, a distance quantity. It should be given as a distance. Polar coordinates, which is flat Earth map would use a distance and an angle. Perhaps you could clarify why we don't do this and use an angle and why do we use an angle instead? He says it's Cartesian coordinates. plane system. So Flatzoid thinks that anything that uses two-dimensional coordinate systems is, this is so sweet, is only Cartesian. He's unaware that there are other coordinate systems. So here's another one on the sextants here. When you pick up a sextant, you already measure your sine and cosine, not calculations measurements. What? No, sextant's not measuring a sine and cosine. It's measuring an angle. Oh my gosh. He goes sin angle. I think he means sine angle is your 90-degree star measurement, aka GP. No, it's not. Not calculation, and also it is already the angle toward the star, and also measured, not calculated. The cosine is your adjacent, aka 0 degrees, also measured, not calculated, with the measured angle to the star. No. Your tangent is simply the 90 degree from here to the GPDU, all measured, not calculated. I think he's messing up SOHCAHTOA here. He's really messing up. I love it. Flatzoid. This is, you are real. I mean, you're coming out fierce on this. And then another one here. This is, so he thinks that celestial navigation, which he's never done, he thinks this is how it's done. He says, let's say you measure an angle of 25 and we know the GP is 90 to you. No, it's not, but okay. So you assert. We know a triangle as the internal sum of 180 degrees on a plane, yes. So 25 plus 90 equals 115 minus 180 is negative 65, not positive 65. You missed on that one. But that's fine. You should have had 180 minus 115. So points off for that. Flatzoid. You're an adult. You should be able to get that. So what do we have? Three angles, 25, 90, 65. Whoops. No, we don't. That's not how celestial navigation works. All right, I'll put up the picture. It's zero chance that he's going to watch, but I'll put it up anyway, just to be fair, because I am here to teach. So here we go. This is how celestial navigation actually works. You've got the one angle you're measuring between you and the star, which is line A. The star's at line A, and the horizon, which drops from horizontal, which is line C there, or angle C. Or anyway, you measure all of angle A. I didn't label the lines. I should do that. Then you subtract off the angle C, which gives you angle B. That angle B is the one that you use in celestial navigation. One single angle, not a triangle, one single angle. And you'll see there that bottom line that's parallel to line A, that's the GP to the star. There is no triangle between you and the GP of the star and the star. There's no triangulation in celestial navigation. Nowhere. Nowhere at all, Flatzoid. So, all right. I will, I'll create a Zoom call and I'll send it over to PhD Tony and PJCnet. I mean, you can come in and share with us your wisdom.
Recording in progress.
Oh, I'll turn off the recording there. You hear that? It's the default. It always does that. I'll turn that off there. Got it. Stop recording. All right. And it also, I want Zoom to not make me choose whether or not the waiting room is on, but I can't. It doesn't let me choose. It's always on, so I have to manually turn it off. So PhD. There you go. Zoom link. All right, we use the inter-NASA communication system there. So, all right, that's sent off to PhD Tony. PJC, what do you think? Sean Hawkins has some I hope it's more flatzoid. Is it more flatzoid? Because that's good stuff. It's so good. I'll look here. Um, 2D doesn't mean flat. Yeah, he doesn't know that. Okay. Um, poor poor flatzoid. I mean, he clearly didn't get a good education, and you know that's how he got to where he is. Oh, I hear PhD Tony. There you go. Your label is mic check.
Is it?
Well, that was who I had on last Tuesday.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll fix it. I have fixed it. There it is. Welcome, PhD Tony.
Greetings. How are you?
I am wonderful. Mic check is the one that I sent you that video about.
Yep.
So I'll set it up. Mike Check was asking, or we're talking. He says he's only 10% flat earther anymore, which is good. I think people were
Mm-hmm.
saying maybe he seemed a little more than 10% because of how he dug his heels in, but whatever. He watched a video when we were talking about gravity and how gravimeters modify or measure the gravitational field of an area, and he's like, well, what about pressure? I said, well, they're in an evacuated chamber, so the pressure inside the chamber does not change. And you
Yep.
had sent me some things about um how it's controlled. Like it's tracking and measuring the actual pressure inside the container on the good
Mm-hmm.
ones. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's like, yeah, but there's this video where when it rains, the pressure changes. He said this. He was misremembering, and that's fine. It doesn't matter that he misremembered, but um, that the pressure changed the quantity of gravity in that area. Turns out it was, he sent me the video, and what happens is when it rains heavily, it changes. It says in the video, it increases the quantity
Yep.
of gravity in the area. So that's the setup, and PhD Tony has reviewed it. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a well understood phenomenon. So humid air with a lot of moisture in it, is significantly less dense than dry air. So there's basically less mass above the gravimeter. So there's less gravitational attraction upward. So this results in a stronger downward component of gravity measured by the instrument.
And maybe we could say why it's less dense. Humid air is less dense.
Because the molecular mass of water is lower than the molecular mass of dioxygen, dinitrogen, and carbon dioxide. So because it's a molar mass when you're talking about the ideal gas law, because hydrogen, and oxygen is less massive than oxygen and oxygen, or nitrogen, or carbon and two oxygens. So because of the difference in mass, it turns out that humid air is measurably less dense than dry air.
An excellent explanation. Flat earthers tend to think that moisture increases refraction in the air. In fact, it decreases because it's less dense, less mass.
Yeah. This is one of the things I think that they managed to confuse themselves a lot over what's going on. And in order for refraction to work the way that they require it to work, requires very, very weird behavior. You need, for example, sort of cold air at a height and warm air underneath, which is the opposite of what they want. But you can do it if you mess around with the humidity enough.
Yeah, it would completely go opposite what we observe.
Yeah.
And if you saw Brian Leakey on, he just randomly made up upward bending refraction, which is a common invention in of flat earthers to try to make things make sense.
Yeah. One of the things is that they're retrofitting pretty much every physical principle and every observable into their pre-selected hypothesis rather than the other way around.
The pre-selected conclusion.
Yeah, the pre-selected conclusion. Well, they've got a hypothesis and they're basically glued to it. They're not going to be shifted from it. They're not going to allow an impartial assessment of the observational evidence.
That's what they do. That's what they do. All right, I got a couple. If I don't want to get too far behind, a couple super chats here. John Safil did a £5 super chat, but there's no message. So thank you for that, John. Hold on. We've got, and then he did again. He comes in with another £5. Can the flurfer explain a lunar eclipse? I've never seen a flurf actually explain a lunar eclipse.
I did see somebody hypothesize that there's some invisible but opaque body that regularly gets in between Earth and the Moon.
Yeah, they. It's from typically, I think, Indian mythology.
Well, it's a rather bizarre idea that something can be invisible but opaque to light. That's
also it's never been. It doesn't reflect radar.
Yes,
also, it is in the exact same place as our model predicts the moon to be. Weird coincidence there.
It is a weird coincidence. It's they've got some very, very strange beliefs, but there you go.
I saw. Go ahead.
Sorry, I have been actually reading up on a new form of gravimeter that I didn't know existed before. Or well, I did know, but I didn't know too many of the details about it, and it's quite interesting stuff. So yeah, we can go there if you want, or we can just talk about FLIRS.
Well, let me say this. I sent a link to PJCnet. Oh, you're not seeing me. Hold on. I'll let you see me. And I'll apologize for letting you see me. There you go. What was I going to say? I forgot it. I forgot it. Rahu, that was it. Okay. Now I remember. Caucasian Sensation says, love you, Toon and Tony, listening and driving. So, thank you for that, Caucasian Sensation. Bob Nodell. So, somebody sent me a while ago the chat of Bob Nodell and several other flat earthers from the 2017 eclipse, I think. The big one that was 2017, went across the United States. And in that chat, I just love this. He was so optimistic. He's like, people are going to send up high altitude balloons and they're going to get photographic evidence of Rahu.
Yes. It is weird, the sheer level of the wild swings in apparent rationality, like the entire with this ring laser gyroscope we should be able to measure drift. We do measure drift. Well, that can't be right.
Yeah.
It's and tides are just the rising and falling of the oceans on the bosoms of the deep or something like that. I've got no idea what the hell they're even talking about. It's just absurd.
Bosom.
I mean, this is we observe solid Earth tides and atmospheric tides. So tides are not just a feature of water. We observe them in other media as well. So, all of your examples that are all of your causal mechanisms that are just limited to water, they don't have any explanatory power because we observe other forms of tides. So anyway.
Um, just a second. John Suffield is asking, can I answer normal questions too? Yes, I can. Just tag me. I'll try. I'll try to catch them. So I have, it was 8 weeks today that I put out the sextant challenge. And one person tried, and of course he had to use a globe, so backfire. But good for Brian Leake to actually try.
Yes.
And it's all this deflection and everything from them. They can't, they won't touch it. So I'm moving on now because I've poked at them to my heart's content, and that challenge will still be there for them to fail at every day. But there's so many other challenges. So an easy one is they like to say that the Saros cycles and the Antikythera mechanism and that clock somewhere predicts eclipses. And I say, yeah, but not to location. And Chris Wood actually claimed this week that the Antikythera does predict the location, which you sent me a thing about. There's nowhere on it that would output the location.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can look at it. It's got no mechanism for outputting location. It's a nonsense argument on his part. He clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. And there are strict limits on the accuracy that the instrument can achieve, as I discussed in the paper I sent you. This is the thing, like, when these questions come up, you can just go look in the literature and see what the see what current scientific research says.
Yeah, and he claimed it. He was adamant that it does that. But clearly, he didn't have any background to that. Why would he make the claim? I don't know. We've got a question for you. I'm doing these out of order, people. I'll get back to the other ones. But a question for Tony, if you have time. Solid Earth tides, how do they work? How do they relate to datums like mean sea level and NIVD?
So they're not really going to work in relation to those, because those tend to be related to land. You pick a particular land feature and you say, okay, we're measuring relative to that. So if the land actually moves, it's very difficult. But you can clearly see them, for instance, in GPS analysis or other GNSS data sets. So you can see that basically everything around you is going to rise and fall by about 20 centimeters during one of these solid Earth tides, but you don't see it because everything around you is going up and down. And it's quite a slow process, but they work in much the same way as water-based tide, except that they're inside the solid Earth, and they're not affected by bathymetry the way that water tides.
What is it meant by solid Earth tides?
So solid Earth tides are just, they're the gravitational effect of the moon and the sun on the Earth. It causes a deformation process. So there are
of the not water parts of the Earth.
Yeah, the not water parts of the Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
And so these create stresses that the Earth deforms under. And I mean, there's also a significant motion of the Earth in response to actually atmospheric tides. So the motion of the atmosphere in tune, under the effect of the moon and the sun, that also moves the Earth by about 20 centimeters a day. So just as you're changing the center of mass as this atmosphere moves around, and it's sufficient enough to produce a 20 centimeter sort of shift in the center of mass of the Earth atmosphere system. and that's also detectable. So there are these physical phenomena occurring that we're not generally aware of because they don't impact our everyday experience, but that flat earthers would have a lot of difficulty explaining. Greetings to Phil Bell, and happy Easter to you too, sir.
Bill Bell, would you like to come in and double our PhD pleasure? Michael J. Smith is in the chat, but he's a flat earther. I've invited him to join. He says he's eating, so he declined the invitation. And DMOC, you know DMOC. Ooh, he's crazy.
I do know DMOC.
I asked him if he's available. He said he works right now, so he's free after. But I can't go as late as he needs it to be. So for tonight.
And just to clarify for your benefit, the phrase DMOC means death touch. It's a mythical kung fu technique.
I studied kung fu for a short time, about a year.
What style?
It was Xingyi style and internal Shaolin.
Okay.
I
studied a few years of Bagua.
Oh yes, Bagua was a one spoken of often in some like schools that our school interacted with did some Bagua. Yeah. So we did a little bit.
Bagua and Xingyi are sort of they're kind of different in styles, but they complement one another.
Yeah. We would the internal Shaolin kicked your butt because we did the Shaolin forms like Tai Chi style, slow. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're just doing that. You're just sweating, like moving slow and just sweating like crazy. All right, so Clive Wells is also in the chat. We could go triple PhD.
We could.
I could. What do you think?
You could certainly invite Clive on. He doesn't like to yell at flat earthers. He just sits in the chat and makes sardonic comments because he's much more dignified than I am.
He's more dignified. All right. Now, if let's see, is Phil Bell on Discord? Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. There you go. All right. I've sent out three Zoom links to PhDs. Why do you, let's see, the rabbit says, why have you ever found out why flat earthers think science and NASA are lying about the globe Earth and what there is to gain? The reason, they say it's several things. For control, as if that matters. Mm-hmm. Like giving somebody wrong information, how does that benefit? It doesn't. Just giving them wrong information. So that seems weird. Number two, for money, they're like, have you seen NASA's budget? Like, you have no clue what a budget is, do you? These people who have only done a personal home budget don't know what a corporate budget looks like and the numbers of dollars that are involved.
It's also based on an ignorance of what NASA actually do. They've got, they do a lot in terms of aeronautics, particularly air safety. They do things like accident investigation and studies into how to make air travel safer. That's a significant use of their resources. So the claim that everything they do is fake, obviously, just doesn't mesh with reality in any sense.
Yep. And then the most ridiculous one. What's the most ridiculous one? Reason why they.
Oh, the reason, it basically comes down to paranoia. I think that the most ridiculous one I heard was actually Spurs Chemo, who claimed that it was a racist/colonialist conspiracy by the English to subjugate inferior races, which is why which is why which is why the English were so keen on colonizing Australia and South Africa, was to stop other people from working out that there was an edge.
Wow. And then why didn't they go do that in Chile and Argentina?
Well, the Spanish and the Portuguese got there early. They didn't realize.
Were
Apparently.
they in on it too?
Yeah, apparently everybody's in on it. There's a
So
whole.
so it's a racist thing to subjugate, but apparently the Chinese are in on it.
Mhm.
All the East Asians, apparently India's in on it.
Yeah.
The Middle East has stuff. I mean, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of space exploration happening in Africa, as far as I know, but maybe there's some.
To answer Mandela's question, no, I do not know what the many-legged horses from Gamma World are called. I don't recall. I remember Gamma World. I don't recall what those animals are called. He's insistent. He knows that I read the Gamma World book, but I just don't remember that anyway.
Okay, well, let me my one that I think is the most ridiculous is, and this is the one I hear super common, is they are hiding God.
Mm.
Here's the self-defeating part of it. They know that the earth is flat, supposedly, and they are hiding it because they don't want people to know about God, but they know that it's flat, and they know that if people heard about it, that the people would believe in God then, but they believe in it, they know about it, but they're not convinced that God's in charge. Like, if it's so compelling that they need to hide it so that the people won't find God, why aren't they convinced by it as well and want to just go celebrate it and tell everybody?
Well, I think this comes into the whole sort of Freemasons are basically a mask for Satanism. That would be the direction. So they're actively trying to suppress knowledge of God because they're evil. They are Satanists, and this is where it gets dangerous, right? This is so. Somebody the other day was very unhappy about the sort of Bev's name being mentioned on a stream, as though this is, they're saying that this is doxing. This is just as bad as Bev doxing anybody else. No, it isn't, because Bev doxing a globe earther makes that globe earther a target for flat earthers, and flat earthers have a paranoid derangement in which they believe that globe earthers are evil. And that's very dangerous, whereas globe earthers do not have a similarly delusional belief that flat earthers are part of some evil conspiracy dedicated to world domination. It's not an equivalence, right? That the context in which these actions are taking place means that there's no moral equivalence between them. Flat earthers have a much more dangerous mindset. Thank you, Mandevil.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle on it. Of course, the other thing is, on Bev's stream a couple weeks ago, Dr. Bob, they were talking about Dr. Bob, and Dr. Bob showed up on the stream immediately. As soon as he got on the stream, one of the panel members said Bob's last name, who he doesn't want that shared. He hasn't shared that himself. And Bob's like, "You're doxing me. Why did you allow that?" Later, Bob said Bev's last name in the stream, and then Bev banned him from the channel. And so I asked Bev on Twitter, I said, "Well, you allowed doxing?" He said, "Oh no, I banned that person from my channel." Like, no. You allowed Dr. Bob to be doxed and did nothing about it. So Bev supports doxing. he has still refused to do anything about the panel member of his that did that. So
Yeah. So somebody points out that Freemasonry isn't that old, but they'll take the conspiracy back further. Prior to the Freemasons, it was the Templars. The Templars are devil worshipping. It just goes back. There's this conspiracy to sort of hide the truth that has been going on for thousands of years. Or it was the Romans, or it was the Jews, or they'll sort of kludge up everything and they'll turn it into this gigantic conspiracy, and they'll claim that, for instance, the Catholic Church is a false flag operation. Basically, they're not real Christians. It's only these modern flat earthers that are real Christians.
that's exactly how cults behave.
Yes, that's exactly how cults behave, and sort of it becomes very difficult to have a rational discussion with them if they descend into that. And I will point out that you can have individuals who don't enter a conversation thinking stuff like that. I was actually sort of favorably impressed by Brian Leakey's willingness to have a reasonably discussion.
Yeah, I enjoyed that discussion. That was very nice. It was silly that and unsurprising that Nathan Oakley took that conversation and intentionally heavily edited it to make me say things that I didn't say.
Yeah. Well,
so,
that's their MO. I mean, they're always going to say. And I mean, Nathan Oakley knows that he is full of nonsense. He just seems like a con man.
Yeah, Nimrod's wondering if you're clipping. I don't see clipping on PhD Tony's in my side here, so I don't hear the clipping, but I wasn't listening for it. I don't know. Let me read a couple more here. We've got LB Stuff and More said, one more time, PhD Tony, tell us about the bosoms.
The bosoms?
Bosoms on the bosom of the deep.
Yes.
I love it.
I myself am a huge fan of bosoms, but I don't think that the deep particularly impressed me with theirs. So.
Now, why is the deep so bosom-bead? Okay, Connell Silverfer, have you ever noticed all flip arguments inevitably become nothing more than appeals to the stone? It's as if they can't rationalize their positions. What's an appeal to the stone? I've heard it before. I
don't actually know. I'm not familiar with that.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up to so I can be sure I dismisses an argument as untrue or absurd. The dismissal is made by stating or reiterating that the argument is absurd without providing further argumentation. Series 2 is closely tied to proof by assertion due to the lack of evidence behind the statement and its attempt to persuade without providing any evidence. Absolutely, yes, that is completely what they do. They're like, 93 million miles away. Do you believe this stuff? That's it. Yeah. That's all you have. Okay.
So Michael J. Smith just said, name the people you say believe these things. Well, Bob Nodell says that everybody who claims to have been to Antarctica is a Mason. And they claim that there's a secret clause of the Antarctic Treaty that is being hidden from them. This is a common belief in flat earther circles. In order for that to happen, there must be some secret organization. Obviously, the moon landings were fake, and all space travel by all nations are fake. Therefore, there must be an international conspiracy. You can't just say we don't believe in conspiracy theories if your entire belief system is predicated on the existence of a gigantic international conspiracy theory.
We should say
members
rather than international, say global. A global conspiracy theory.
Yes, a global conspiracy. And it's the rationale here, it's like climate denialism. I've had my fair share of discussions with climate denialists, and some say that climate denialism is a Thatcherite conspiracy to deconstruct the unions. Other people say that it's a conspiracy by the World Bank and the Rothschilds to gain world domination. Everybody has their own, slightly different, unique flavor of what is driving these international conspiracies. But the fact that they don't agree with one another and can't get their stories straight doesn't make any of them accurate. They believe it's a conspiracy, a vague and amorphous conspiracy. And, anyway. Gareth, my dad is the same way. My dad is a staunch opponent of climate reform because it would cost him money, basically. And good thing that he lives in Australia and he's not a poor dark-skinned foreigner, because they're the people who are going to pay the highest price. But anyway.
All right. Let's see. Johnson Phil said, can you also answer normal chat questions? I addressed that already. Yeah. Send me, just tag me. Nimrod for 20 secs says, all right, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Los inte dete metalantedere. I don't know. Which means do not read this message.
Okay.
Here's what it sounds like in not American.
Läs inte detta meddelande.
There you go.
Okay.
I only speak American.
Yes.
I had to use Google to translate that. Nimrod then it comes back again for 20 Swedish kroners and says lots of A's, lots of R's, and lots of O's.
Aru.
Is that a thing?
So it's Aru is basically a wolf howling.
Okay. It could also just be short for kangaroo. Oh, look outside! It's a roo.
Yeah, that's true. It's a roo. Yep.
All right, Norman Dixon for $5 says, and here I thought the Selenites just turn off the light every few years to clean the bugs out of the moon. Silly me.
Well, that would make sense.
What the heck are Selenites?
They're the people who live on the moon.
What?
So selenium, selenology.
Oh, it's
it's to do with the moon.
War of the Worlds. Okay. I got it. Okay, it's a mythology thing. But
just a second, I'll be.
Tony, next week is the annual championship, with the breakdancing championship on the moon, on the secret NASA moon base. Do you have seats? I'm in the mezzanine, first row this time.
I'm unable to make it. Help. Commuting is a bit.
But I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be. I'm looking forward to the finals. Probably going to be Simon Dan and Neil deGrasse Tyson again. So
again,
that's always
they've got great form.
It's
always
a good show. PhD Stringer News 1 says, I'm not a PhD, but I slept at a Holiday Inn Express once. Does that count?
Nice.
I think that's to you. Does it count?
Well, it counts as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, Joe Whipp is competing this year.
All right. Well, you should.
Good.
You should do well.
Yeah. Make sure you stretch beforehand. It's the gravity's less, but you can still pull a muscle. Connell Silverfur, this is referring to them thinking that everyone's Freemasons. Says, I actually had a flurf tell me that everyone from Eratosthenes to Galileo to Newton was a Freemason, despite the fact that Freemasonry started in 1717. Yeah, that was the one you addressed already.
Yeah. They'll just roll it back. I had somebody tell me that the people suggesting the Greek philosophers suggesting that Earth was spheroidal, in about 500 BC, were Catholics.
Yes, of course.
More specifically, they were Roman Catholics, which is sort of not a real distinction, but they're. I guess he just thought that they were Romans despite being Greek. I don't know. It got a bit confusing, but he was very firm on the fact that he knew more history than I did. Flirts are often very confident about the fact that they know all sorts of stuff.
Yes, thus the top left awards.
Yes.
Kyle Silverfer says, no, you got it wrong. They were Jesuits.
See.
Which is a subset of the Roman Catholic Church.
Even.
But it's also the Zionists, apparently.
Yes.
Who are somehow also part of the... No, they're not. They're Jews. Yeah. But we all know it's actually the French mimes that are in control of everything. They are the umbrella overarching global conspiracy holders, the French mimes.
Yeah. It certainly works. I was watching an episode of Moon Knight the other night, and the central character does a lot of talking to one of those living statues. They've got to be in on the conspiracy as well. Those living statues.
So somebody's asking Michael J. Smith in the chat here if he's going to take part in any of my challenges. So I have some older ones, the gravity challenge, which I plan to update, and the map challenge, which was mostly farcical, poking in Flat Out Hero's eyes. But Michael J. Smith, would you for $10,000, would you use the Antikythera mechanism, Sorrow Cycles, or that clock? I forgot the name of that clock. To tell us where and when and to the minute the next eclipse will happen, because definitely somebody gets it right when they use ELP 2000 and VSOP 87 to predict the eclipses. But certainly the flat earthers can predict it, right? So,
yeah.
Wow. So John Safil, for £5 earlier, said, why is everything blamed on NASA? Don't flirpers understand? There are other space agencies and thousands of amateurs taking astro photos. I'm in a meme group, a Facebook, a flurf meme group on Facebook, and it is trash. Flurf memes are trash. Here's a picture. Here's a star according to NASA, and here's a star according to amateurs, and it's an out of focus P900 photo. And amateurs have telescopes. You can go get one yourself.
Yeah, there was not Rumpus, but somebody was telling the story yesterday on Blue Marbles, a thing of teaching a flurf how to use their telescope, and eventually the guy stopped communicating, just stopped participating in flat Earth chats, because you can, once you learn how to use a telescope, you can point it and you can see, these things happen. You can put stuff in front of your telescope. You can see all of this stuff with your own eye. Unfortunately, I'm actually starting to fade a little bit. Still not entirely well. So okay. I might have to take a break, give myself a rest.
Okay.
Apologies for that, but thank you for having me on, and I hope I wasn't too boring.
No, I stayed awake the whole time. It's far as I know.
Right. Well, that's good. But I'll be listening in from the chat. So keep it
All
up.
right. All right. Thank you, Tony.
Bye.
Okay. And there he is out. Okay. So, if anybody's interested, let me know. You can pop in. So I'll read from John Safil, and I got some stuff that I'll show that Sean Hawkins shared. John Safil did a message for £1, or a super chat for £1 with no message, and then a £20 super chat. Wow, thank you. But there's no message. John, what do you thank you. I really appreciate that. But if you want to say something, tag me. I'll read it off. I grateful for that. Okay, so let's get this one here. This is good old Flatzoid. So all right, this is an interesting one. Oh yeah, Texas Troy, if you're up for it, let me know. Send me a message on Discord. So here is on, this is on, I think, Flatzoid, or I know it's on Flatzoid's video, where I cannot read that. Hopma Jimpo? Hepe Jimpo? I'm sorry, that's definitely pronounced wrong. Says 2D doesn't mean flat, and that is correct. That is correct, and flat earthers typically don't comprehend that at all. And Flatzoid, all he had was laughs. So, and I'll explain it to you. Let's see if I have. Oh, yeah. There it is. On the surface of a sphere, you can move in two directions. It curves in three-dimensional space, but you can only move in two dimensions. The surface of a sphere is two-dimensional. That's the basis for spherical trigonometry, which, unlike some flat earthers who just want to pretend that it doesn't exist, it really does exist. So, sorry, Flurfs. So yeah, 2D does not mean flat. It means you can move in two dimensions. It could be on the surface of a sphere. It could be on the outside or inside of a sphere. It could be on the surface of a saddle, on the surface of a cone, on the surface of any shape, a three-dimensional shape. If you're limited to the surface of it, there you go. All right, and here we go. I've not previewed these here. Edwin Decker. This guy is not much of a physicist if he can't comprehend that 2D has only two axes. It indeed does have only two directions, two dimensions that you can go. Said John Seville. I got it. I'll read that next. Not much of a physicist if you can't comprehend that 2D has only two axes. Yes, it does. But it still can exist on the surface of a sphere. All right, so here's, let's see, JC Skyknight, a straight line is straight in all dimensions. Untrue. A curved line is always curved in all dimensions. Probably not true. It's interesting. On a curved line on a a curved line on the surface of a three-dimensional object could be straight in the third dimension. You guys really are desperate to hold on to your contradicting beliefs. Flatzoid, you just don't understand geometry very well. It's okay. You don't need to be good at geometry, but don't pretend that you're good at geometry when you're not. Ooh, Connell Silverfur says, I'm still trying to find a flurf willing to accept my challenge to debate about the Flat Earth Bible verses on your show. They always run away. Yeah. John Safil says, new to Super Chat, sorry for my incompetence. No problem. He says, Who controlled the ice wall before the Illuminati or NASA? And I'll add in there, of course, or the French mimes. Who controlled it before them? Yeah, it was the French mimes. The French mimes actually go back to the beginning. Cain actually was, Adam's son who killed Abel. Cain was a French mime. There you go. I just made that up. Some flurp is going to repeat that. You watch. All right. And then this one. Oh, dear. Here's Arwen. Oh, this is the name of a video, it looks like. Flat Earth Early Bird 12 at 15. The fabric of the consciousness is reflections of the material realm. Oh, Arwen. Oh, Arwen. Microraptor, before France existed? Well, yes, of course. Cain was the first Frenchman. Obviously, right? Garrus, I'm loving this new version of the Bible you've created. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's all what I'm doing is I'm cultivating my inner flurf and just making stuff on the fly. It's just ad hoc garbage. So there you go. So all right, Michael J. Smith left, but we get along okay. What did he say? I forgot what I was talking about. He's talking about his Discord. What server is his Discord server? I don't know. Is it Earth Awakenings? Oh, Beast Militia. Beast Militia got it. Yeah, Cain's name. Cain and Abel, right? Cain's name was actually Cannes, a city in France. There you go. Oh, Tony. Oh my gosh. Tony regime. Yeah, all right. So after Cain killed Abel, he received the mark of Cain. Whatever that is. It's unclear in the Bible what that is. And then Tony regime says, does that mean that the mark of Cain is a white face with lots of makeup around the eyes and mouth? Obviously. Yes, that's Cain killed his brother, got in trouble. He's got mime makeup and a stripy shirt. That's how people knew. Oh my gosh. Yep, that's it. All right. I gotta look this one up. That's so funny. Ira Gwynn for £5 says, I'm running a few minutes behind the live show. The French mimes are responsible. Deserves a $5. This is new. You didn't know that? Oh yeah, it's well known. Well known the French mimes have been the global leaders in flat earthism forever. All right. All right, I'm going to try this here. Let's see. So, just a second. Oh, I see. Okay. So, Stringer News 1 says, what came first, the Frenchman or the Gauloise? Gauloise being a French cigarette. It's a chicken or egg problem, isn't it? Did I watch Professor Dave? Where'd they go? Did I watch Professor Dave and Dave Weiss debate? Of course I did. That was a guilty pleasure. I certainly enjoyed that debate. Every time Dearth came up with some nonsense, Professor Dave just beat him with a stick. Over and over. Was he more harsh than I would be? Yes. But seriously, flat earthers, they deserve it. What do you come up with nothing? But Dearth is like, airplanes do fly this way. No, they don't. There's a direct flight between Santiago and Sydney. He just pretends it doesn't exist. So pretending something doesn't exist is just denialism, which is a religion. So you can stop that. PJCnet, anyone can discover it themselves and know 100%. I'm sure that's not true at all. John Rapp. All right. Fun fact, Cain was the first to have dick and balls drawn on his forehead. Yep, while he was sleeping, Adam's like, that's it. Nice. Caucasian sensation, so the flurf ran away. I missed the intro. Yeah, it wasn't the problem with Discord flurfs is they're not super likely to show up, right? It's a little bit of a challenge to get a Discord flurf to show up. So it was going to be on That's Tough TV Discord server, which currently, this is the first time I've ever seen this. It used to be called The Asylum. I've never seen it, the voice chat, empty. But it's empty. There is exactly nobody in that server's VC right now, voice chat. Nobody. I scared him away. I guess. But anyway, yeah, Don, who is, I guess, the owner for that, he said he wasn't feeling well today, and Noah, who was wanted to debate me apparently, did not show up. So, whatever. So we're doing this. We're just having a good time here. Exposing Ma's tricks. Hold on a second. Exposing Ma's tricks is Ryan Casey, who's homeless or used to live in a storage unit or something. He sent a super chat. Thank you for that. Dude, you don't send me a super chat. If you want to send me a message, Ryan, just send me a message. I'll read it out. You don't need to do that. But anyway, he says, what is your fear, F-E-A-R, fear, about flat Earth? You would bet your life the safe bet. And I'm not a betting man. But yeah, I'd bet my life the Earth is a sphere. It's definitely a sphere. So there you go. Looked into it myself. So there it is. Would I? Yes. In fact, I put 10,000 of my own money into it. It's sitting there. In fact, it's 0.4 Bitcoin, which is worth a bit more than that today. 18,000 just sitting there ready, just parked. I can't get to it. Somebody else has it. And a sextant challenge that in 8 weeks, nobody has been able to do. So there you go. If I do another one, exposing Ma's tricks, Ryan Casey, would you do the sextant one? It's free to enter, costs you nothing to enter. Nothing at all. It's on my website. How about predicting the next eclipse? There's a few others I have in the works. How about you tell us, exposing Ma's tricks, you tell us the formula for the downward acceleration, not gravity, because you say it's not gravity. You tell us the formula for the downward acceleration, get your prediction ready. It's science, right? You have a hypothesis. From that, you form a prediction. You test a prediction for accuracy. If the prediction is correct compared to, observation, then it supports your hypothesis. So that science is making predictions. So what is the predictive model for the downward acceleration? No, flat earthers can't even agree on what invented ad hoc nonsense causes the downward acceleration. The Flat Earth Society, they say the Earth is accelerating up. The really dumb ones say density and buoyancy. Makes no sense. Density is not a force. Buoyancy is reliant on the downward acceleration. So it's a chicken and egg thing, right? Some say it's incoherent acceleration. Dielectric incoherent acceleration. That's just nonsense. That's not a thing. There's no empirical test for that. There's no formulas for that. There's no nothing ever been tested for that. You think that's what it is? You go ahead. Some say it's magnetism. They say it's electrostatics. They say it's electrodynamics. They say all these things. None of it makes sense. None of it. The Moonlight Challenge. The Moonlight Challenge is a fantastic one. And the challenge for me is writing it so that somebody cannot game the system. And when I had people on, I had Chris Wood on Tuesday, and we talked about, I got a lot of feedback from it, including things like an infrared thermometer. If you point it at water, it doesn't read the temperature of the water. It's an infrared thermometer. It is receiving the infrared from something, right? It's got a laser, but that laser, there you go, that laser is not reading it. It's just giving you an indication of where it's coming from. So here, I have a heater next to me. Can you read that? No. 75.8 Celsius. It's a little, because it's cold still. It's below freezing outside right now. So don't point it at water. Somebody suggested a paper cup with the lid on so nobody could throw something from off camera into the cup to cause a chemical reaction that would change the temperature. There you go. Gary Wybenga. Gary and Ryan are both here. You want to come in, Ryan? But Ryan sent another super chat. He says, it's hard to decipher what he says sometimes. He says, we don't say tan. Why would we use a sextant? I don't care that you use a sextant. People use sextants, and they accurately get their position. They've done it for centuries. And the math is completely based on the globe. So why would you use a sextant? I suppose you wouldn't. No flat earther has, because as soon as they do math that is globe-based math, you can't actually be a flat earther anymore, right? But it works. So that's the thing. As they say, the proof is in the pudding. If you do a whole bunch of things based on the globe and it works, that supports the globe. And if you can't do those same things for flat earth, that's a problem for flat earth, isn't it? So Manobot said, did we get any snow? We did. We did get snow. There was snow on the ground this morning. It's just been a little. Just a smattering here and there. Nothing huge. So Eric Erpelling says, do you know of any flat earther who has computed a navigation fix? I suppose Brian Leake, when he came on, kind of did. But he invented, and he knew the answer. And so what he did is he wrestled the numbers to force it to happen. And then he mapped it out on Google Earth, which is a globe. I mean, you're not helping yourself there, but that's fine. He used the radius of the Earth in his measurements, his calculations, and we've got a noisy cat coming. Goodness! All right, don't shut the door. He's gonna want to run. There you go, turtle. There you go. What do you have to say? Woo! Let him go. Let him go. Just leave the door. All right. He was not interested. Wiggles is here. Wiggles, you were featured earlier. You were on screen earlier. So I keep thinking I want to maybe do a video on how you would do celestial navigation if the Earth were flat. But the problem is flat earthers they always get confused. They think Um, they think that if you talk about something that you are admitting it. But and I forget the quote, who said it, but you know, the mark of an intelligent person is that you can take somebody else's position intellectually and work through it from their perspective without accepting that position. So I can conceive of how it would be done. But if I were to go over how it's done, Nathan Oakley would then go and clip that video, because he's a dishonest liar, and try to make it look like I'm supporting something that I'm not supporting. So, yeah, Nimrod, Turtle doesn't like the smell of Gary. Why bothers copy pasta? Yeah, I love this. Mr. Unite for the children. This is fantastic. I've used a parabolic camping stove to make ice in moonlight for years. Oh. So yeah, so that was the cold moonlight challenge. The water in a Taco Bell cup, a paper cup. Would that work? That probably would work. Or if you want to have some other substance, and that's the thing, like, what do they want to test? I want to make it open. I want them to look at the challenge and say, yeah, that's a legitimate challenge. And I think that that Toon is actually honestly offering up this challenge in good faith. I definitely am. And I want that to be obvious in the challenge, but it needs to be controlled, so that when I say controlled, I mean scientific controls of the experiment, so that you aren't getting confounding effects that are changing the temperature of the thing. So if you have something immediately over the thing you're measuring the temperature of, it has an insulating effect. That's why flat earthers are always confused about it, because they don't want to do that. So I'd love to see, though, would anybody want to go to Craigslist and get one of those free TVs, the rear projection TVs, yank out the screen, and set it up in the sunlight, you know, because that's fun. You can burn rocks with it, but do it in the moonlight to see what actually happens, because according to flat earthers, it should give you frostbite if you touch it. So, very ape. Who's the dude that did the really funny moonlight test? No, a funny one. I don't know. Gary, why don't you just come on here? Just let us all hear your silliness, right? Mark Buys, you cannot use anything shiny or reflective with an infrared thermometer or thermal image camera if you want the actual temperature of the object. Yeah, and I got a lot of people saying that. Mark Beiser knows his stuff. It's what he does. So yeah, so like a concrete slab, would that work? If you had a small paver stone, what about a small paver stone? You get two of them, one in the shade, one not in the shade. That's not reflective, so that might be good. Sand. One container of sand, dump that container into the two basins so that you're not getting one that has water in it, because if it has water in it, it will cool it. So, and see, there's a potential way that somebody could game the system. They could off-screen spray water into it so that you don't see it on the live camera. It's recorded at night. It's not very bright. So, what would be your control in the papers? Well, the outline, the basic outline of the experiment is you have a test measurement and a control measurement. Your test measurement is when the moon is there and you have one object that's in the moon light and one object that's in the moon shade. And the measurement is the temperature difference between them. That's the test measurement. The control measurement then would be on the day of the new moon, when the moon is not present. You do the same thing, everything identical, including the shade also being there in the same position, and you test the difference of the two things, right? If there is something giving insulation over the top of it, then one will be warmer and the other will be cooler. So that's how you do the control. Oh, all right. I will send. Apparently he is ready. Here comes the link. Ryan Casey, you are coming in just a second here. Let me get everything set up for you. Okay, here comes the link. Sent. And when you show up, you'll be there. People will hear you. So he's always fun. I do enjoy. He's silly. Do enjoy when he comes though. When he joins us. So all right, he has a link. So Gary, I love Gary. Gary, we can calculate perspective. It's not hard to do. It's covered in 8th grade math, about maybe 11th grade for a little of the more complicated topics. 11th grade is, or not, sorry, 10th grade. 10th grade, sophomore in high school is typically when, in Minnesota, is when people would take geometry class. So at the end of geometry class, you can definitely do all of the necessary calculations for perspective. See, Charlie says, if you're using an infrared thermometer, there's lots of things that don't look reflective in the visible, but are reflective in the infrared. Anodized aluminum is a good example. Yeah, that's true. So yeah. So the list of accepted materials needs to be kind of needs to be specifically thought out. So Mark Beiser says, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd set something up with some black ball thermocouple probes in my thermal camera to do the test properly. You could do that. James Weber, yes, I sent the link to exposing Ma's, what was it? Exposing Ma's tricks. But he's just, and Ma, who's Ma? He won't answer. He'll never tell you who Ma is. Michael Raptor says, bring in Nimrod to debate whose cat is cuter. That'd be funny. LB Things, Stuff, and More says, MC Toon, Minnesota has a great core standard. We use it in our English as a second language tutoring. Well, good. Glad to hear that. I saw something flash. I think we've got Ryan Casey in the house. And he's working on his audio. Let me know. We'll know when he gets it. I haven't. Your audio's still off.
There we go. Got me?
I gotcha.
Hey, Toon, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Welcome.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. Last time was when you didn't quite make it to the finale for the Imposter Among Us game show.
Yeah, that was a real goof. But yeah, I tell you, I'm happy to be back on. And you had an interesting cat on the other day. I think he said he wasn't a flat earther or he wasn't a baller. He was more on the fence, FENCE. And but truth had been kind of put under the knife for him, you know. Another FE at the end there, but anyways, you know, I think everything happens for a reason, and this that cross up there isn't up there. I don't know if you saw it. There's a cross up there. It's not up there for no reason, and why the sun, Jesus, appears to cross the horizon is what knowledge is all about, you know. And Satan made the first claim to knowledge. He said tangential sight along a sinusoidally curving Earth is causing the horizon.
He said that? I'm going to need a citation for that.
Well, if that's not what that story is about, then I'm the biggest fool around.
Okay. Own it. Own it.
Yeah. Well, to me, Satan adds up to 55 for a reason. And
but it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. S isn't the 19th letter. A isn't the first letter. That's 20. T is the 20th letter. That's 40.
Oh no, I use ASCII.
41, and then 14 for the end. That's 55. You know, so you can say 10 if you want.
No,
But
no, I use ASCII. So capital, yeah. So capital S, right? What's capital S
I don't know.
in
It's
ASCII?
19. I don't know what ASCII is.
Capital S is oh, that's not ASCII.
S is the 19th letter. So
That's a base 64. Hold on a second. No. I'm getting an ASCII table. There we go.
is the man on the ladder. I can't help but be our adder, and you know, Satan adds up to 55.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Just did the math for
All
you,
right.
sir.
Capital S is 83. We're already
Why-
above your final number. Lowercase a is 97.
Where are you
Right.
getting these numbers?
This is ASCII. This is what your computer is using. Your phone.
Okay, I'm not interested in that.
I
I'm
am.
interested
That's what
in-
I use.
I'm
All right,
using
so
the.
hold on. So capital
look
S.
at
Hold on. Capital S is 83. All right. So an
Okay.
A, lowercase
this
a is 97.
If this totals 666, you got to give me something.
And there's two of them. And then there's a lowercase t, 116.
It's getting there.
All right, 393. And then lowercase n. Okay, 110.
Oh,
There you go. It adds up to 503. Sorry,
okay.
503.
Well, it's not something we ate from the tree of knowledge, then, is it?
Well, turns out we speak English, which is a very much more modern language than any of these things were to put in, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe we could do it in hexadecimal. You want to do it in hex or octal? Do a decimal? We could do it in any base that we want.
It all codes to the same thing.
No, it doesn't.
No matter how you,
No,
you measure the Earth, you say tan and you say turn. So I'm going to try to test those two things, right?
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You say tan causes the horizon, right? Tangential site along a sinusoidal curving Earth causes the horizon.
No,
correct?
tangent does not cause. No.
What you say you're not looking down at the ball along the surface of a ball.
But the tangent's just a trigonometric function. It doesn't cause things.
Okay, well, you say the last part of the Earth is the last part you see due to your tangential site along the ball, right?
Okay.
That's what the cause of the horizon.
Yeah.
Why you're,
Yeah.
why you're off on.
So this, you're saying this is the tangent here, that the edge of it.
Right. Well, you're standing on top of that thing, and based on your height above that thing, you're going to have a different tangential site along the ball.
Okay.
Right? So that's why my experiment involves more than one camera, because I have to check the full.
I don't know if the audience is familiar with your experiment. I mean, I am. I think it's a fantastic, fantabulous. If I don't say so, if I do say so myself. The
last time you told me that you didn't think it would prove what I think it proves.
Well, no, it won't. But it's a fantastic experiment, nonetheless.
Okay, so if you understand what my thoughts are on it, and you said the mark of a intellectual man or whatever you said before is being able to cite the other person's arguments and understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, from their think of it from their position. Yeah.
Okay, so why do I say Jesus is the crisscross?
I don't know that. Ryan, okay, I need to be honest with you. It's a little bit goofy to follow some of your stuff sometimes.
Okay, yeah, of course it is, because it's a look at language that you've never seen before, though, right?
I always laugh at that. Yeah,
you know,
okay.
Maybe the language is written by the divine and it is revealing something. So,
or maybe not.
Right, and that's the point of the experiment. You know, I say the two fools, Satan and Jesus, thought they were looking down at a ball, and this fool is going to try to show that they were wrong. But I don't get any support. I am alone.
All right. All right, we got off. We need. All right, you got to tell people your experiment, though.
I would love to hear you explain though, because if you're able
all
to
right.
dismiss it, then you should be able to explain.
All
it,
right, here we go. People,
Yeah.
here is my understanding of Ryan Casey's experiment. He thinks that the sunset is due to basically the Rayleigh criterion in the iris of our eyes or of a camera, and so he wants to test this by having multiple cameras for some reason at a high elevation, maybe to get out of any air atmospheric messing, but to simultaneously video record the sunset using one with a large iris and one with a small iris. So the f-stop on the camera is one set to max, one set to minimum. You'd need at least two cameras to do that. And he is proposing that those two cameras will see the sunset at different times. How's that?
That's pretty good. Yeah. But, for the full explanation of it is, if, flat earthers always say that the horizon rises to eye level, but then I think Jesus would be on a plus sign, and if
No, I don't know.
if Satan was right, it'd be the upside down cross. But the cross is the way it is, with the horizontal part above the median in the middle of the vertical line.
Oh, you're talking like of a crosshairs over a photograph or something.
Right.
Okay.
In the crosshairs, that the horizon line, the horizontal line, is halfway between the vertical, or in the middle of the vertical, right? So what I'm saying is that the light that comes from below you is going to cross the 90-degree plane once, and then due to the density changing within the camera, or it crosses because the light converges to a point, right? And you guys, the science will even admit that your brain has to flip the image that you get on the retina, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the light from below you hits the upper part of the sensor, the retina, the little bits of information. So when it converges to a point, it's going to cross that 90-degree line, and then due to the refraction, you called it the Rayleigh criterion. I'm not even that versed on that, but
Rayleigh criterion's not refraction, it's diffraction, actually. It's the name for
okay, no, I always said that, and you told me it was refraction. Yes. I think that the light in the pupil, right, it crosses that 90-degree line. The light from below you crosses that 90-degree line. It's now above it, and then it's going to bend again, and it's going to cross that line again and be rendered on the bottom half of the retina, therefore obscuring the light that came in from above that would have hit those bits on the retina that light hits. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, I guess. I mean, I could draw it for you guys, I guess, but I think everybody should be able to get that point.
all right,
To me,
so that is then basically, that would, to me, that would say that we do not understand refraction and we do not understand the Rayleigh criterion. That's what that would set up.
But if your explanation for the ball is that the Earth will eventually spin and get in the way of your line of sight to the sun, all the light that has now made it, or was hitting your eye from the sun before, should now be obstructed by the ball, no matter what. Boom, that's done. It shouldn't be about anything that happens within the iris or the pupil. It should all be because of the Earth. It's the only thing obstructing. So once it's gotten past that horizon, you're further along than the horizon, then there should be no possible way of it being obscured. Do you agree with that?
It was a little sloppy on the. Can you say it again?
All right. So you're looking tangentially at the ball, right? And eventually it's going to spin, boom, into my line of sight to the sun. So like I say in my experiment, if the Earth is a ball, the sun should disappear at the same time in every single camera.
Yes.
Right? because the result that I expect is purely happening within the camera, and the light has already made it past the horizon from the sun, from Ra to the bit. That's why I say it's the rabbit hole. From Ra, the sun, to the bit, there's a hole in between, but it's already past your only obscuring thing possible, so it shouldn't matter.
Okay.
You get that?
Yeah, I don't think that it supports your intended conclusion at all. So
Okay, so you think if let's say I get a different sunset time in every single camera, your explanation is?
my explanation,
Yeah.
I don't know. It would take the Rayleigh criterion, and so basically diffraction and refraction. It would show that we don't have a good understanding of it. It would take hundreds of years of understanding how light works and put it all into question. It would be Nobel Prize winning breakthrough information. And if you do that, you tell you what, bring me along. I will help you to publish this in Nature, and we can both share that prize in Sweden.
Well, I need people to help me. It's hard to get 5 cameras up on the top of a mountain by myself.
How about just do it with 2? Start small, and have
Sure.
one maximum iris and one minimum iris.
Yeah, but you got to worry about not even resolving the sun, right? If you go to the minimum iris, and I need filters on it too. So I feel like I need a range. It might not happen till the 5th camera.
Well,
the 5th small.
do your proof of concept with 2. How about that?
Yeah. See, there's my buddy Paul, right? And in the Bible, Paul has to have the scales.
Are we gonna meet Paul?
Do you want to meet Paul? Paul is one cool dude.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if he wants to. Sometimes
right.
he's standoffish. Hey, Paul, how we doing? We have some friends that would love to meet you. It's a podcast. What does that mean? It's people around the world who are
around the globe. Tell us around the globe.
He thinks the Earth's a globe. I think the Earth's a plane, and we're just having a conversation about how we can test it. Yeah. Paul is one of my favorite people.
Hey, Paul.
Hello.
Is he a priest?
He is a brother with the Sacred Heart Church here
He's got the clerical collar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a special event today. Or yesterday.
You think so? You think this weekend's a big deal for churches?
Well, I know yesterday was Good Friday, and then tomorrow's Easter, ain't it?
There you go. I was gonna have to get upset at you if you totally forgot about that.
Well, I'm not a Christian. I think the Bible is out here for a reason. It's the most read book ever. It's everywhere because the story of this place is coded within that. And it all starts with Satan. So.
Yeah, but what did it start with in Hebrew?
In Hebrew?
Yeah, because the Bible wasn't written in English. Did you know that? It was translated to English.
Okay. But the truth of the matter is, I was chosen for this role, of decoding it. So I was always going to be an English speaker, and it was always going to be hidden within English. In plain sight, if you will, in Plan 5. So.
How can we confirm this?
Well, once I'm hoping, there's no way I can prove to you that there being no room in the inn is people refusing to and the 5-5, like I've said, Satan,
Hold on. What? INN the 5-5?
Right. There's no room in the inn. There's nobody that's willing to help me because I'm Satan right now. I'm the opposition, and everyone else will not 5-5. Like I said, Satan.
Wait,
what's up to 5-5? You immediately want to ask me because you're not ready.
Where did you get the I-5-5?
The inn. Jesus couldn't be born in the inn.
Okay.
No one would 5-5.
But why are you saying 5-5?
Because
How are you getting in
What did I
INN
say?
is equal
What
to
did I-
5, 5?
I said you won't look at
Okay.
NN. N is the 14th letter. 1, 4 is 5. 5, 5. Satan is 55.
Could you write down the rules for how to do these things? Because you're using a different rule for this one than the other one.
What was the other one?
The other one was you were just adding up all the numbers. So in INN is not I 5, 5. N is 14, right? And I is 9. So using the formula you used before, you just sum all the numbers, right? So we've got 14 and 14 is 28, plus 9 is 38, 37. So 37. So in INN is 37.
And guess what age I just turned?
37?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it doesn't happen this year, then what?
Well, it's happening, my friend. 8-5, I
But
think.
what if it doesn't happen this year? Were you wrong?
Well, I'm on my way to Hawaii, Hay, Hawaii, because that's where Jesus had to be reborn in the hay in the manger.
Wait,
So,
you're going? Where are you going?
I'm going to. Remember, I always wanted to go to Rainier and do this experiment, right?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that Seattle, there's no way I can convince the people here in this town to come help me, right? So
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
On April Fool's Day, Mother, as I say, the source, let me know that she fooled me and that Rainier was a message to go to a rainier place. So now I'm going to the rainiest place in the U.S. and that would be Hilo, Hawaii.
That's the rainiest place?
That's the rainiest city in America.
All right.
Maybe the world. I'm not.
All right. Well, Hawaii. So we've got 8. A is 1. W.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll be able to code it. The source doesn't waste space, so everything is meaningful to the I.
All right.
To the
we've got 8 plus 1 plus 23 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9. Right. Hold on. I'll do that. Shit, I can do it on my calculationator. All right. Hold on. All right. We've got 8, 1, 23, 1, 9, 9. Pluses all there. So Hawaii is 51, by the way. So using your formula from before, Hawaii is 51.
Yeah,
so
and I think
what's 51 mean in whatever?
Well, it's more about the reverse. The reverse is 15, right?
No, it's 51. Or did you want to add the digits and get a 6?
But Satan is the great inverter, right? And I told you I'm Satan, right?
Yeah, but you arbitrarily invert or always invert. Which one? I mean, the inconsistency seems a little problematic. Problematic. I just invented the word problematic.
Well, I could code 5-1 for you, but I'd rather tell you about the 15 because listen to this.
But it's not 15. It's 51.
The inverse of it.
But why the inverse of that one and not the inverse of the other ones?
Just listen to this. What is the name of the guy who supposedly measured the circumference of the Earth first?
Eratosthenes gets credit for being one of the earliest.
Yeah.
Is that who you mean?
Yeah. So let's look at his name.
Oh,
No.
Let's add up the numbers. People, somebody at home, just too many. I can't do it. Add up the numbers.
Stop. You got to allow me some poetic license, man.
Oh.
The source hides everything in plain sight. So it's the name, Eratosthenes. Era 2S 19. COVID-19 was the end of it, man. The end of the fish story. Then ES 519. Well, Ear is a 519. War is a 519. Jesus has the ES in there. Moses has the ES in there. Destiny has the ES in there.
Wait, anywhere that has ES in it?
So 15.
What about cheese?
Cheese has a
cheese has an ES in it. Right.
I have to be
people.
I have to be a cheese ball and a corn ball, the unicorn ball. Yeah. Someone has to see the cosmic joke, the JC is the 1-3.
Yeah, what about jokes has an ES in it?
Yeah, exactly.
Elasticsearch is abbreviated ES.
Best. And it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It's just the way it is, and it could not
Hey,
be.
you know what else
And that
has
doesn't-
ES in it? Pineapples.
Wow, and I am the pineapple because
You know what
and
else has? You know what else has ES in it?
I don't judge.
Pizzas does not.
It does not. Exactly. All right. So you think it's just a coincidence that Eratosthenes is just Era, you know? You somehow
Yeah,
had the
an
word-
absolute goofy coincidence that you stirred up out of nothingness. But I love it. It's very
and
fun.
you got the then too, like something's gonna change. Then well, anyways, 15 is the Ides of March. And
Yeah.
the
Okay.
the ARC, I'm not RC for no reason. There is an arc to this place, and you
But
refuse.
But why don't
see
you just throw in your middle name? Just why did you arbitrarily not use your middle name?
Well, you know what my middle name is, right? It's Matthew, and I'm supposed to say Matthew.
Did Gesundheit.
Yeah, and there you got the 5-5 at the end of Matthew too. But yeah, so
hold on.
listen.
Casey has an SE in it. That's the reverse of ES.
There you go, right there. Oh, yeah, and I'm the case Y for a reason. This is the alpha male you're talking to, so watch your tongue.
Oh my gosh. So, all right, Ryan. Last year, May 19, which is about a month, 11 months ago, something was going to happen, but then it didn't. What was supposed to happen, and why did it not?
I was originally going to do that's what I was hoping to do, the experiment, but the best laid plans of Ma and men.
Or some other version of it, but yeah. And what was going to happen on that day? Just that you were going to do the experiment?
I thought I was going to do the experiment. And,
why? Why? How did you come to that day?
Because ES 519.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. There's more to that number. Originally, she had me thinking that ES was the frequency of the signal that she sends to paralyze you.
And you were wrong about that.
Well, I don't know yet, but she had me thinking all sorts of wild things, man. I tried to coax Billie Eilish into coming here.
Certainly do think a lot of wild things.
Yeah.
Can you see the Space Needle from where you're at?
Yes, I can. Let me show it to you.
There it is. Look at that. Good job, Ace. Ace Fox goes, he's about 3/4 mile away from the Space Needle right now. Ace Fox nailed it. All right, what about Billie Eilish?
Well, hold on. I want to say this joke. I should have figured out that Seattle was not going to be the place because you can get your space and needle form here. They're pretty dark about it. But anyways, yeah, Billie Eilish, she's the bad guy, right? She had that song Bad Guy, and I'm kind of the bad guy. You Glover's, some of you think I'm entertaining, but
you are entertaining. I gotta there's no doubt about that.
I have to play opposition to you guys and the flat earthers, so I'm the bad guy in this world. And I have to say what bad is B14. Who was the one who would before the claim?
Michael Jackson.
It was Satan. He's the 1-4, Jesus the 4-1.
I totally thought it was going to be Michael Jackson.
Michael
you
Jackson
ain't bad. You ain't nothing.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Anyways, I tried to get Billy to come to Seattle to, start the revolution or whatever.
Really?
And it didn't go down.
Did Billy respond to you?
No, she's a Beatles fan. No reply. That's a song. That's a song the Beatles have. No reply.
Well, yeah. Maybe you should have quoted Jude.
I quoted a lot of things, man. I'll tell you what.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Somebody wants to show off their cat. Just a second. I'm gonna show off their cat. This is from Nimrod. There's Nimrod and Nimrod's cat, Zuki. Look at that, people. Zuki, very cute.
Zuki. Zuki. Yeah, the Zodiac. That's the key to everything. Is the Zuki. The Zodiac is the Zo is the zoo. The dog is the two. The ages are paired.
Oh dear. Okay, so Ryan,
Yeah.
You talk of the flat earthers as if you're not one, but you're a flat earther.
Right, but
Okay.
I've chopped down the tree of knowledge. They're still holding on to.
Whoa, where was it?
They've chopped down the scion that was grafted to the tree of knowledge, Satan, but they don't even realize that.
Yeah, but you chopped it down. Where was it? And did you have an axe? Like, what kind of axe do you need to chop that tree down?
Well, you need to understand what we saw in terms of the burning bush, the New World Order, and then discover that. I know this is it's way too deep for you. I know, but
It's
someone had to pen the 7-10 split, and for me, God is the guard in Eden. He is the tree of knowledge. Tree is a cross.
and you
A
chop.
cross. R. Oh, here it is again. 5-5. Who's across our 5-5? That would be God.
What? Where the 5-5? What's 5-5?
Oh my lordy! Add up Satan again with.
Yeah, you just randomly throw that in though.
Well, that's what you have to understand. If there's gonna be room for me at the end.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, it's not the Bible. The 5 is the Taurus. It's the 5th age of this earth.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
All right, Ira Gwyn says, "Tune, I had snow today. I live 7 degrees farther north and went out in a t-shirt. Can I have a flurf explain of the Gulf Stream, please? Can you explain the Gulf Stream for Ira?"
The Gulf Stream.
Yeah.
Well, I am the Gulf Stream, just like I am everything. I'm everything all at once.
Cuckoo. Are you the walrus?
I am the walrus. Yep. I am the 4-3 defense. I am MC Tune.
No, I am actually. That's me. You're not me.
Well, I am a 4-3, like the MC, and I make metaphors collide.
Wait, why is the MC a 4-3?
M is the
M is 13.
13th letter. 1 and 3 is 4. C is the 3rd letter. The 4-3.
Yeah, but why did you sum the 1 and 3 instead of just summing all the letters? So it'd be 16 and not 4-3.
Well, I can only relay the codes back to you how I'm giving them. I'm not figuring anything out. I'm an NPC. I'm the 33 3rd degree Mason.
You're not a Mason. You're just making stuff up.
I'm Mazan. Some NPC.
Okay. What?
Some NPC. Add it up.
Some
Add it up.
NPC? Yeah,
Yes,
but the rules change all the time.
Well, just do it.
Oh.
Do it how you want to do it.
How I want to do it? I'm going to use ASCII or maybe Epsidic. Tell you what, Mark Beiser probably knows Epsidic. Add it up in Epsidic.
Anyways, NPC equals 33,
Okay, so how does that explain the Gulf Stream? Cuckoo.
Well, UL is a 33.
Okay, yeah, but there's a G and an F in there.
Yeah.
You kind of missed them.
I'm not here to explain the Gulf. I'm not here to explain the Gulf Stream. I was here to explain why I think my experiment is going to reveal what it's going to reveal, and try to get you guys in on the story of this place. Because it's the high story for a reason. The maker of this world wants to say hi to you. It said hi to me.
Okay, well, tell the maker to send me an email.
I am the maker. I say it all the time.
All right, Luke Filewalker is wondering why not UTF-8, because UTF-8 is ASCII for the first 128 characters. So if I'm using ASCII, I'm using UTF-128 or UTF-8. Okay. So Masturbator says flat earthers are a psychological study.
Yeah,
what do you think of that?
I think everyone is. I think Geo and ego go hand in hand, and both are being rid from this world. I'm Noah for a reason. You know,
You're not Noah, you're Ryan.
Right, but I'm ARC because I built the Ark.
But you're not ARC. You're AM. You're RMC is your initials.
Okay, but doesn't everybody just go? Well, I'm also our arm. See, I don't know. Whatever.
How'd you get that? How do you get all these things? You just collect them all.
Like I said, everything is everything. I am all things, man. It's all in the language. Language is right angle. Right angle. You see the L there? That's the right angle. Ang. You age then. You have to understand the ang, the bull, why it's the bi bull, why Satan is pictured as a bull, why it's the May sons. You know, May is the Taurus. You know, it's the ring of Pisces for a reason. The two fish. You need two poles to catch the two fish. Have the scales removed from your eyes. None of this stuff is accident. You know, it's all meant to be exactly as it is.
I was listening to every word.
No, you weren't.
I was talking to my wife.
Oh, man. Oh, look at your wife with the FE at the end. Oh, interesting. Maybe that's why you guys get it on pairs. Ah.
What you talking about, Willis?
Get your wife in here. Let me tell her about the Ark.
No. She's like, I'm not talking to any flat earthers. They're
Really?
crazy. Yes, every week she's like, seriously.
What drove you to get started on this, Mr. Toon?
I was interested in particle physics, and so I was watching different videos and things on particle physics. And YouTube then in 2017, 2018 was sending me then more science videos as I exhausted the supply of particle physics things that I was watching. And eventually I wound up watching like Slice Arcane was fed to me, and a few other things, some debates on the Non Sequitur show or elsewhere. And then eventually Simon Dan, when he first started his channel, was in there. But then I went to some online forums. I'm like, these flat earthers, wow, let me go see what they're talking about. And I went to some online forums, spent a good while there, and then found myself on YouTube. And Flat Out Hero had that goofy challenge, and I did it with paper charts right here on the wall behind me. And that was my first set of 3 videos.
Huh. Nice. Well, you know, I think her hero isn't her ring for a reason. You know, Mother Nature is planned her ring. She hid from us for a reason. Now she's revealing herself to us in the form of the cosmic egg.
That made no sense. But 3 Ron for $2 is the island of Kauai has the rainiest spot. So that might be what you're talking about. You going to Kauai? What island?
I think it's the Big Island. It's Hilo, Hilo.
The Big Island is not called Hilo.
No, that's the name of the city on the eastern side of it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the Big Island.
All right. Luke Filewalker says, with all these letters, numbers, and ciphers, I think he picked the wrong Sesame Street.
Oh, look at Sesame. It has the AM and the ES in it. Wow, how about it?
Wow, every word has something in it, I suppose. Eddie Reese says, hey, Ryan, ask your doctor if olanzapine would help you.
Olanzapine?
Yeah, have you had that?
No, but I'm sure I can code it for you.
What have you had? Anything in particular that was more successful or less successful?
Yeah, well, you know, I've been trying to tell people that the chakra ladder is the ladder onto the arc, and Zen is a real thing. And to get to the 3rd rung of the chakra ladder, which is your solar plexus, you have to smoke DMT. So that's the 3rd rung. The 4th rung is your heart.
Public service announcement: do not smoke DMT. I had to do that. NASA requires it.
My back.
Dude, Ryan, you are this is a trip. Robeeb is wondering, what's the Roman numeral for 400?
Am I on still?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, hold on. I'm in the rain. Hold on. This rainy city isn't enough though. The arc had to
needs
come to
to-
a rainy city, but this one's not enough. Let me dry my phone. Hold on a second. Oh lordy. Oh, come on. Here we go.
All right. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, is this your home?
Yeah, actually, this is where I sleep, man. This is
What is it?
This is the food bank that I volunteer at,
Okay.
and yeah, it's got a little something over me, so I stay dry.
Okay. So, all right. So what's the Roman numeral for 400?
The Roman numeral for 400. Well, let's see. Man, I'm not good with my Roman numerals.
You don't know?
I can't remember what 500 is. Is it M?
500 is D.
D. And then is
D
M
is in-
100?
No, 100 is C. So,
Uh,
so what's the
so
Roman numeral for 400?
It would be CD.
CD's nuts. Got him.
See, you think mother wrote that joke and you don't even get it. She wrote all the jokes. Maybe you will get it on the cosmic joke one day.
Oh my goodness, that was Robeeb. Robeeb did that. All credit to Robeeb for that one.
That was pretty good. It's nice to see you're still a child in some ways, Mr. Toon.
In here, I am 13.
Yeah.
In fact, February 18th, I just turned 13 again. Eon Dust says for five Australian, he's in Australia. Does Australia exist? Does today.
Yeah.
Says, you want to know how it feels to be me while sitting through a math class? This is how it feels talking to this guy. At least math makes sense in the end.
Well, add up key real quick.
Key. All right, hold on. I gotta get, where'd my pencil go? There it is. Key. K is 11. Why are we doing this? What?
Because it's the key to understanding everything.
Okay, hold on. Four. I had my legend. I had to go all the way down to Y now. So Y is 25.
There you go.
Right. So we've got 5 and 25. What's 5 and 25?
30.
All right, plus 11. That's 41. All right, 41.
What does 4-1 signify?
I have no clue.
April blank day.
Oh, April Fool's Day. Okay.
Fool's Day.
But
yeah.
But it's just 41. How do we know? But what if you're in Europe? In Europe, it's not April 1st. In Europe, it's January 4th.
Ah, the 1-4. That's right. Yes.
No, it's still 4-1.
Right.
Just that they do the day of the month, then the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's January 4 though for them.
It takes 2 to tango, right? It takes 2 to tango. 2 had to say tan. Satan, I say tan. Jesus, let's confer. Do you agree? Do you agree? Yes, I say tan as well. There's 2. There's the 1 for the claim and the 4-1, the fool to go along with it.
Oh dear.
I mean, when the experiment goes my way, then you're going to have to accept what I've just told you.
I suppose. Dude,
listen,
it's just you just. I mean, I love how you're just like making up this stuff.
I'm not making it up. It was fed to me, just like the ball was fed to you. And then
yeah, but I measured it, I confirmed it, I tested it. It's myself personally.
Okay. Well, how did you test Satan's claim?
It's not his claim.
Any attempts to Satan's claim is going to show that the math for the ball math is never placing the horizon where you think it is. right?
Wrong.
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 Well, you guys have never done any experiments to test it, so I
Yeah,
don't know
we
how
have.
you can.
So, all right.
What?
Stringer News 1 says Riley is the Eggman cuckoo cuckoo. You know Riley, right?
Riley. I don't think so.
Anthony Riley, Sleeping Warrior?
Sleeping War. I think he's been on Glowbusters before, right?
No, he's on Nathan Oakley's show.
Oh, yeah. I haven't listened to that in a long time.
Probably
I think
for the best.
Oakley is probably still on the Tree of Knowledge too.
Oh my gosh. All right. Eddie Reese says scales removed from your eyes. Is that similar to LASIK or cataract surgery? Or is it a retinal laser procedure?
Well, it's the scales, obviously, because the apple, a pull for the apple is the thing we ate from the Tree of Knowledge. Gravity being the fact. The scales are being affected by something else, not gravity. And the scales need removed from your eyes is the fish story. Like while you were talking to your wife, I was babbling off a lot of good stuff for you. But there's two fish in the fish story. That's why the Earth had two poles. And now it's time for real change. Jesus is the fisherman for a reason. It's all about fish. It's about the fish story of Pisces. Pi helped us see the Earth as a ball.
But he was a carpenter.
But 3.14 is something we ate. Add that up.
But he was a carpenter, not a fisher.
Right. Yes. Well, I can. Carp isn't a fish.
Oh my gosh. Not in Hebrew, it's not. All right, jeez. People are liking this this theme. Earthrise says, I am the Eggman. They are the Eggmen. Woo.
Egg? Is he saying Eggman?
Egg, yeah, EGG. Yeah, like tomorrow is an egg theme day for some people.
Right. Well, add up egg.
Oh, me. I need to know the rules ahead of time so you don't change them later.
Oh my God, 7, 7, and 5.
5, 7, 7. Yeah, I mean, I don't have them memorized like you. It's 19.
Yes. Remember, era 2, S is the 19th letter. Yes.
Okay.
The cosmic egg. Well, 19 is also 1-9. AI.
Okay. So egg is AI.
We are the AI, sir. That is the cosmic egg for you.
All right.
You
All
and
right. I got one more from Eon Dust. Says, "Oh, ask him what my name means. It's Eon Dust. He wants Eon Dust decoded. Can you do that?
Spell it.
EON Dust.
All right. Well, the five is the E, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we never even discussed that on is 6-5, like FE is 6-5.
Wait.
And remember my buddy Joe Lorenzetti, my good friend? Guess
O
what
is,
his birthday is?
O is 15, not.
So that's a 6.
But
1-5.
But how do you know when to arbitrarily?
Well, you have to see
what's the rules for when you sum them and when you don't sum them?
There are no rules because it all is meaningful.
You just make it up on the fly.
Our maker's that good.
Oh, dude.
Well, like Khan isn't CON for a reason, the great Khan.
It probably has nothing to do with anything. Yeah.
Well, isn't it interesting that off is a 666?
It's not. It's 15,
which is a 6
plus 6 plus 6. Yeah, but I'm summing them like you did before, which is then 27. It's 27. That's Weird Al. Definitely Weird Al.
Yeah, I mean, if you allow me and the maker no poetic license, then you're never going to come to any new knowledge, and you'll forever be the Antichrist.
It's the arbitrary application of the rules. All right. All right. Norman Dixon says Anthony and Nathan are the same person because they both have two A's and the N in their name.
Well, wasn't it interesting that Nathan Edwards Thomas got caught up in the magnet experiment?
What?
Nathan Edwards Thompson, Nathan Thompson, right? His middle name is Edwards. The
It
net.
is?
Yeah, he got caught up in the magnet experiment.
Okay.
You know, maybe that was meant to happen. You know, I actually was there when that happened.
You were like at the place?
I wasn't there for the experiment. I was there for the after party. There was a mask over hugs protest, or a hugs over mask protest, and in California, and I had showed up to it, and I didn't know he was going to be there. But yeah, it was weird. But I'm just saying that there are no accidents. You know, it was all meant to happen like that.
All right. Somebody's telling me to go to Discord. More cat pictures. All right, I'll get this cat picture. And then I'm gonna have to let you go, Ryan.
It's all right. Hey,
some people all right, Ryan. Some people are upset at me, a couple people that they think I'm making fun of you. And I don't mean to make fun of you. All right, here's the cat. No. There's the cat. Zuki. There you go.
You will actually hear me out. A lot of people will not. So
all right. So one of the people that's upset at me is it wants me to ask you if you take chlorpromazine.
No, I don't take any drugs. I'm the natural light, sir.
Okay, there you go. Are you able to make predictions with your powers?
I'm on a need-to-know basis, but I do predict my experiment will go as planned. So,
can you predict other things?
No, not really. It's better if I don't know. But I do think the whole Cobra thing is quite interesting. You know, I had a buddy who told me about the Cobra venom. What
Cobra thing?
You haven't heard the big huff about Cobra venom being in the vaccine?
No.
Saying
it's definitely, I can just, with having heard nothing about it, I can say it's definitely not true.
Okay. Well, I think if you see the ring, you'll be our one. But you have to see the ring of Pisces for what it is, the fish story.
All right. All right. Amber Punk is somebody that's upset at me. Wants me to stop because you're obviously ill.
Well, I can't help but be the, you know, AM is the 1/4, so I can't help but not be Satan. Sorry.
Don't know what that means. But what does Dave Cernick is wondering, what does 616 mean?
616? Well, that's the 13 of the zodiac, isn't it?
No.
I explained why Jesus Christ was JC, the 10, and the 3, the 13. It's all about revealing the zodiac.
Yeah, but I said
as above, so below.
616.
Well, add them up.
6 + 1 + 6 gives 13. And then you add them again, you get 4. Which one are we picking?
Well, the 13 is what it's all for. So, you know, the zodiac, revealing the nature of the zodiac and its effect on this world, the as above, so below. Mother's rings, as I like to call them, because the ages are paired. The Zodi, you know, die is 2. The recent pairing of Pisces, Taurus from our maker. And, you know, it's not 2 fish, the 2 poles for no reason. We've entered the age of Aquarius, and it's paired with Aries. The aces are being played. I know it's a lot to take in, right? But it'll all make sense when I get to tell my story.
Ryan, it's the ramblings of a madman is what it is. And I like you.
It's
I
the
do.
it's the ramble. Yeah, it's the ram and the bull. Yeah, right. I'm an Aries. And
Everything, like
I
every word. All right, Saeed Ahmed says, after all this time, 33 is nothing more than a bad pun generator mixed with dad jokes.
yeah. Well, our mother thinks she's funny, and I
I,
have to speak her language.
I think he's talking about 33 UC. I'm not sure. 33 UC is going to be on this coming Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time.
It's interesting. Cult, is CUL. That's the 333, and then the cross. So 333 across. I walk over here on Dexter, at 333 Dexter is Apple. You all are in the cult of the apple. You believe what causes it to fall, and you believe what causes the horizon, and you made a model using those two bullshit stories. You are the
So,
Bible.
Ryan, what was your last job?
I worked as a mover a bunch, but now I move electric bicycles for money, and I do volunteer. I work 70 hours a week. I volunteer 25, 28 hours a week. I pick up garbage for 10, 12 hours a week, and I move bicycles the rest of the time to make money.
You move bicycles. Is that
Bicycles.
for one of those bicycle renting things?
Wheels, yeah, they're electric bikes. They're all over Seattle. There's scooters.
So how do you have a vehicle?
No, I use my own 2 feet.
So you
Isn't
walk.
it funny that
So
Isn't
well,
it funny that feet is FE? It's like, my feet are on a
but it's not.
ball.
It's not FE. It's FEET. There's 4 letters, not 2. So let me. So you walk. So they send you go on your phone. They say, oh, there's a bike here. We need it moved here. So you walk to it. You do a thing on your app. Then you ride the bike to that spot, right?
No. The batteries are usually dead, so you don't get to ride the bike. You got to push it.
Oh, you walk it.
Yeah, I'm a foot soldier, man. I walk
Oh my
many
gosh.
miles a day.
All right, Saeed Ahmed thought you were 33 UC. That was the confusion. So
I say I'm.
So here, let me read this. Let me read this again then. Yeah. Saeed Ahmed says, after all this time, you are nothing more than a bad pun generator mixed with dad jokes.
I mean, you can call them bad, but of course they are. I can't be the 1-4 and not have. People are going to disagree with me. I'm your opposition, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to do this with cameras? Do you have any cameras at all?
I'm gonna have to rent them when I get to Hawaii for sure.
Okay.
But I need to find people to help me.
Well, there's a couple flat earthers in Hawaii.
The Kelsey Kirwan.
Okay.
She's pretty cute.
Is she available?
I don't know anything.
Are you hoping?
I'm without desire, sir. So I just take whatever comes my way.
All right. When are you going there, and how are you getting there? With your own 2 feet?
I don't know. I might take a ferry there. FERRY.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, come on. You really think a ferry is gonna go around a ball? That's just so silly. Anyways, I'm playing with that one, but no, I'm gonna fly there, I think, or else try to get some work on a boat that goes out there or something.
Okay.
I'm a fool, man. I don't know how to do anything.
I hope that you figure out a way to get there, and that you get there safely and have a place to stay is going to be a challenge. Are you going to try to figure that out before you leave?
You can sleep on the beach in Hawaii, man.
I suppose. Jeez.
Part of the hero's journey is being a knight, and you have to experience the night for what it is.
What are you going to do that wheels thing when you're there too?
I don't know. I've got some money saved up, so I'm not in any rush to be killing myself going to work immediately again. I mean, I'm just going to be trying to talk to people and try to get people to help me, you know? Oh, you know, here's another interesting thing. Help. Add that one up.
What's the formula for it? All right, 8 and 5. I mean, you know all these. You do this all the time, don't you? You just sit around all day doing this.
It's done inside my head.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Okay.
I'm the perceiver of it.
We got 41.
Oh, we got 41 again. Oh, the fool. Oh, I see, a fool can ask for help. The narcissist can't ask for help, right? So I am a fool. I know I'm a fool. I need help. Mother made me that way for a reason.
All right.
And the arc isn't a narcissist for no reason. You know, I had to become a narcissist in the sense that I had to truly admire what I was becoming, which was the guy who would go spell, you know, and spell away and add away I did and everything. But it wasn't me doing anything. I was just, you know, I call myself the watcher. I'm the watcher behind these eyes, but I don't do anything.
You're also the walrus. Cuckoo.
I'm also the walrus. And the Yogi Bear. And the rocket. You know, you can believe in rockets, but until you get to a rock and bring back an ET, then I'm not going to believe in them.
Did you say Yogi Bear because of my shirt?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
and I
okay,
liked it.
good.
Yeah, I'm a bear. I can't be ear. Like I said, ear is a 519. War is a 519. But Yogi, why ring 7?
It's
What? Whatever. Yoda, why ring 4-1? Why ring?
Why the
4-1?
ring? Wait, hold on. What's the ring?
You know, RC, the ring composition. You got to understand the ring composition, what that means, and why Pisces is a ring, and the arc is understanding the arc of the ring. You know, it's a metaphysical thing. It's a story device. It's a device for telling story. You know, there's the R value that represents the pi Earth, and then there's the R value that represents the spherical Earth, and they are not the same. But I believe she gave us the first R so that we could help figure out what the real R is.
All right, you're sounding a little piratey. All right, let's. Any idea when you're going to Hawaii?
Pirate doesn't have pi and rate in it for no reason. You know, somebody had to rate pi, Pisces, piece together Pisces. Anyways, when am I going to Hawaii?
Yeah.
I like the 5-1. You told me Hawaii was 51, right? So why don't I just leave May 1st? May Day. Oh shit, it's May Day.
Right.
Pretty good.
Hey, boo boo. Let's go get some picnic baskets.
Yeah. Well, how about May Day is 4-1. Ma is 4-1. Da is 4-1. So you know you get your double 41s. Got the fools coming together. Guess what fish is?
It's an animal that lives in the water.
Yeah, but guess what? Numerically, it's 42. You know,
the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Exactly. It's the fish story. Understanding the damn fish story. I know it's funny, but it was served on a dish. That's circle. You know, you love your Cavendish. And he performed his experiment in his cave and dished about it. But it's something we shed.
All right.
Thank you for having me on, too. I love you, man.
Thank you for coming. You're always fun and interesting. And
hey,
Brian, I gotta say, hold on.
Yeah.
You know, and you've heard this before. There's something going on with you. Talk to somebody about it. All right.
Yeah.
Professional.
You know, because it's just a coincidence that what was best picture this year?
I have no idea.
Coda.
Okay.
C ring 4-1.
Okay.
I guess I'm falling on deaf ears. Thanks, buddy.
All right. We'll see you. Have a good Easter. Okay. All right, Amber Punk. I wasn't trying to be mean. I'm not trying to mock him. I like him. Some other people were saying, just talking to him gives him something. He wanted to come on. I let him come on. So somebody a while ago contacted me. After he was on, like, I think the first time that he was a friend of his from a while ago. I won't say more. And Ryan was pretty smart and had things pretty well handled. And then something happened, and he got like he is now. And something happened, and Ryan has a place to stay. He can earn some money. He has food. He can get himself to Hawaii. When he's there, he'll probably continue. So Mary Annie Towel says, well, that was different. And he seemed to be happy that MC Toon was listening to him, even if there was giggling. So, ooh. That means I need to go check the oven. So I tried to make hot cross buns today. I've made them before with success. They did not go the same today. I think the dough, in Paul Hollywood's words, was too stodgy. So when I tried to mix in the fruit, it did not work well. I'm using Paul Hollywood's recipe. I screwed it up. So anyway, that was very interesting. Thank you very much, people. Thank you to all of you that super chatted. If you were offended by that, I was not trying to be rude to him. We've talked quite a bit before. I would put Ryan into the category of general friend, and so anyway, thanks everybody. Be looking out for Tuesday. I have 33 UC coming on. He's super excited, and I have a feeling it will be about the same as what we just experienced. He's so certain that he's got something new. Gotta love the guy for trying, at least. So there it is. Thanks a lot, everybody. We will see you next time.